Welcome to the Emerge podcast, where Ronnie Doss shares insights regarding life, leadership, and personal development. For more of our resources, visit ronniedoss.com. Now, let's join the podcast.
Hey there, it's Ronnie Doss. Welcome to the Emerge podcast. This is going to be a quick episode. It probably won't be together more than maybe 10 minutes today, but I want to talk to you about the idea of poise and what it means. Poise and what it means. John Wooden, one of my favorite authors, he was one of the greatest coaches of all time. He coached UCLA men's basketball, coached the Bruins, and phenomenal guy, phenomenal leader. People loved him. People that played for him said they learned so much from him on the court, off the court. And to me, when I'm looking at someone who I'd like to mentor me or to learn from, that matters. I don't want somebody who can just talk the talk. I want somebody who has a strong family. I want somebody who has good relationships, who seems to really be doing what it is that they're talking about. And he talked a lot about poise. And poise was where he said that poise is this place where you can meet with triumph or disaster and treat them the same. And, you know, right now we're facing some disaster. Some people would say that the economy is now in shambles. Unemployment, of course, we know is now at an all-time high. We've got more people filing for unemployment. Small businesses are closing. It's a recession. That they call it a recession now. And, you know, it can be difficult to look at. And as you see all the disaster and some of the byproduct of the COVID-19 situation, it's easy to be down. It's easy to be sad. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. And many people are feeling that. And if that's the situation in the place that you are in right now, just know that we hope, we believe that you're going to come through it, that you'll stay focused on what is possible from the standpoint of good things and potential versus getting caught up in the fear and letting it pull you down. You know, that's why I wanted to talk about poise today. You know, John Wooden, when he talked about poise, he said that victory, defeat, and fame are all distractions anyway. So whether we think we're doing good, whether we think we're doing bad, he said all those things are a distraction. And what that means is that we have a job to do. There's certain things that we want to take on each day, small goals that as we check them off our list, we move forward, we build up momentum, and we start moving toward a better life. Some days it doesn't feel like it. Some days it just feels like we're treading water. Some days it feels like we're in quicksand. I know those feelings. I've been there before. I know what it feels like to have cars repossessed, to lose money. I know what it feels like to come up short, to be negative. I know what that feels like. It's overwhelming. And it can be very, very detrimental to our mental health. But if we keep at it and we continue to think about this word, as John Wooden talked about it, poise, I think if we can stay focused on what we need to do, in time we will come out of it and we'll be better on the other side. John Wooden said success is the peace of mind that comes when we give our best. And it's so easy when we feel overwhelmed to stop wanting to give our best. Truett Cathy said that when we give our best, we find motivation. The moment that we stop giving our best, our motivation goes away. And ultimately what these guys are saying is that if you can act your way into feeling versus feeling your way into acting, in the end, you will win. He said enthusiasm comes when we put our heart into our work. That's a powerful idea, that you're going to put your heart into whatever it is that you're going to do. If you're going to spend time with your kids, put your heart into it all the way. Be present with them. If you're going to exercise, no matter what it is, put everything you've got into it, right? If you're going to get on a phone call and you're going to talk to somebody that you care about, give everything you have to that person, your undivided attention. Give your best to them. Operate with poise in that moment. If you will do that in time, those moments, they start to build on one another. They start to add up. And the next thing you know, you do something called building up momentum. And momentum is what's called the great exaggerator. When you have momentum, it looks like you're probably a lot smarter than you actually are. You know, momentum is the great exaggerator. It exaggerates the things that you're good at. If you've been doing a good thing for a week, then 2 weeks, then a month, then a year, and you got momentum behind you, people are like, man, that person's got it figured out. Momentum's the great exaggerator, but you don't get momentum without doing a little bit of work every single day, moving you towards something better. Something better. That's so important for us. And this is what poise is all about. And so in the last podcast, I talked about how we had to win the war of our focus, and that there's a choice in everything that we do, and that we have to keep in mind that in the end, it's the choice that we make that makes you. And, you know, that's a powerful idea, that the choices we make us. And so today, even in the midst of all of the uncertainty and some of the frustration and some of the anxiety and some of the fear that is being sensationalized on some levels, but it's very real on other levels. That's the problem. You just don't know who to believe anymore of how extreme things are. My wife Jen and I decided a few weeks back that no matter what was going on in the media, that we were going to decide what we could do, control the controllables in our home, and we were going to give our best to it. And that's what we've done. And over time, it's worked. I don't think we've done it perfectly at all, but I think it's helped us to get through. I think we're getting a little bit better as we move through this, so that when we do come out on the other side, this didn't completely take the wind out from beneath our wings. It didn't steal all of the things that we had worked towards emotionally, mentally, relationally, spiritually, that this didn't just completely tank us and take everything that we had worked for. We didn't allow that because we decided to just focus on what we could focus on. And when John Wooden talks about poise, that's what he means. He's like, don't let the highs take you too high. Don't let the lows take you too low. Ultimately, have something to focus on that you can do every single day that's going to lead you to more victory, to winning. And sometimes you win big, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you lose. And the fact of the matter is, guys, sometimes you lose things that you didn't think that you would lose. Maybe you didn't think you'd lose a job or some money or a relationship. You lose things. Sometimes you get just smacked in the face, and it hurts. It sucks, but you can't quit. If you quit, you're done. And then it's the question that I ask many times, and I've mentioned it here before on this podcast. If you quit, then what? You're just going to sit around and ponder what it could have been like? The busy is a blessing. The pressure is a privilege. When you step in and you allow yourself to engage in that intentional tension that's there when you decide to stretch yourself, when you engage in that intentional tension, you wind up producing a better result in the end. And if that means having a tough conversation with your kid, having a tough conversation with your spouse, having a tough conversation with your boss, your employees, your team, having a tough conversation with yourself, being honest about yourself, whatever it is that's going on, not sweeping it under the rug, but being real with it, in time, there's a lot of benefits that come out of that. It hurts in the beginning. It's not comfortable. But I would much rather have a sharp, immediate pain and get it over with than some dull ache for my whole life that I just never confronted anything. And that can happen in lots of different areas. It can happen in a lot of different areas. I mean, you can make a lot of money really quick and then you get behind on your taxes. It happens. I've been there, done that. You can start a new relationship, things go really well, but you didn't address something within yourself. You start bringing that to this new relationship. It's the old thing, but you brought it into the new thing. That can happen, right? You can go to a new job, you're carrying baggage from your old job, hating your old boss, but because you didn't confront that and you swept that hatred under the rug, that hatred, that resentment, that bitterness, it starts to grow. And the next thing you know, you wind up tripping over the rug and falling over in this new job, but it didn't have anything to do with the new job. It only had to do with the old perspective that you have that you brought to the new job. Like this can happen to all of us. And so poise, like John Wooden's talking about, is, hey, don't get caught up on what used to be. Don't even get caught up on what could be. Get caught up on doing the work right now that you know that you can do. And so this is why it's so important to take a moment, step back, write out a list of goals, write out a list of things that you can do, and take them and attack them. Take them and attack them like head on, confront them, check it off your list. And as you check it off the list, you get the chemical kick, you feel a little better. When you feel better, you do better, you start doing better, you build momentum. And the next thing you know, you're breaking through barriers that you didn't think you could break through when you were focused on what you didn't have and how bad things were. Like, you know, and as I sit here, guys, please hear me. I'm not the dude that has all the answers and is like, this is what you need to do. And, you know, and I haven't felt these things in my own life. I have. There's been times in my life where I haven't had anything. There's been times where I've used pennies, no kidding, change to put gas in my car. I know those feelings. I know what it feels like to be evicted out of a house. I know what it feels like to lose a car. I know what it feels like to lose a relationship. I know what it feels like to think you have a friend that's going to be on a journey with you for a long time and then they bail on you. I know what that feels like. It doesn't feel good. I know what it feels like to lose, to have to change, to make a shift. I made a shift in my career 10 years ago when I lost my stepfather. I know what it feels like to lose somebody you care about. You know, I lost one of my closest friends recently at the end of last year. It was tough, still is. I was talking to Jen yesterday about it. You know, and I know these feelings. It doesn't mean that I know everything, but I'm speaking from places that I have been. I'm not speaking from somewhere that I have never been and I've never allowed myself to be or consider that I could be there. I'm very aware that a few bad decisions and it could be over. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware that in my life there could be tendencies for gambling. I'm very aware that I'm one of these people that has this personality of it's an insatiable personality to where if I lock onto something, I want more of something. Right now in my life, and has been for the last, I guess, decade and a half, I'm very grateful that I have locked on to personal development and growth and helping people. But I know I have that type of addictive personality where when I lock onto something, I want more of it. And so for me, Poise is keeping my focus on something that is going to help me, help my family, help the people I serve, help the teams that I coach. And as a byproduct, I get better and have a better life. It's not by accident. That's what Poise is. And so that's why when I read books about Poise, when I read books about people that have developed self-awareness to take on some of their own thinking, carrying some of their resentment and getting rid of that so that they could grow. When I read that stuff, I love that because it helps me to stay the course. You know, what do they say? The idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you don't put your mind on something, man, that negativity, it'll grow. And as it grows, you start acting out of negativity. And then you see the results from that, and those results affirm some thought in your head that you aren't enough, that you shouldn't be a success, that you can never be a success, because those are results you produced, and then that winds up becoming what we'd say is your destiny. And I know that it doesn't take a lot, and things can change. And so attacking every single day with poise and disciplining myself, that's the thing that I think is going to get me through. Otherwise, I think somebody else is going to come along and fix me, rescue me. I think somebody else is going to come along and do something for me that I'm not willing to do myself. And that's a problem. And, you know, that's where I think we wind up in catastrophe. And so we want to use these situations that we're going through right now as a launching pad. We want to use anything that we can learn, anything that we can have, anything that we can use as a tool or a resource. We want to use that so that we're better tomorrow. And so don't just think that just because we got through this, it's over. Hopefully we didn't just get through it, that we grew from it, that we decided to look at it and go, what can I reprioritize and change in my life to make me better? You know, I was doing a session with the team this morning, and I said, you know, what's going on for you? And one of the people on the team said, you know, I just did a conference call with all my cousins and my family. We've never done that before. But we reprioritized a bit, reconnected, and, you know, using this COVID-19, this self-shelter-in-place thing and some of the challenges that come with it, we've used it to reconnect as a family. That's pretty cool. You know, that's pretty cool. Like you're using a challenge to turn it towards something positive. That's good, and I think that's all we can do. And so Poise is this idea that I'm not going to focus too much on victory. I'm not going to focus too much on defeat. I'm not going to chase fame. I'm not going to chase people hoping they know who I am. I'm not going to hope that I get all the likes on social media. I'm not worried about all that. All I'm focused on is doing the best that I can do with what I have. And if we will do that right now, even in the midst of all this difficulty and all these challenges, we'll emerge on the other side. And when we do, I believe we'll be in a better place to build a stronger future and to have more of the things that we want and do it in a better way. And it's unfortunate that many people have lost what they've lost. It's unfortunate that we've felt what we felt. But I know that in any tragedy, in any difficulty, there's some silver lining. And if we can focus on what is there that we could say is good, we can build from that. And over time, it leads us to greater levels of success in the end. And if we win, the people closest to us win. We create space for the people that we care about. We contribute into their lives. But it starts with us. And so we've got to take care of ourselves, taking control of how we think, where we put our focus, and keep giving our best. So thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to speak into your life for a few minutes today. You all are amazing. If you have not gone to ronniedoss.com/boost and signed up for the new Boost program, these videos, if you use promo code BOOST, BOOST, all caps, if you use that, ronniedoss.com/boost, the videos are free for you. You can watch those on your phone, your smart tablet, your laptop, get access to those. But it's ronniedoss.com/boost. It's our Boost program. These are videos just to help you to get through. So thank you guys so much for who you are, what you do, for being awesome. And I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Take care.